my God, guys. You do not even understand how much I had to beg for this opportunity to happen. So we're gonna go right now. Let's fucking do it.
Like this is gonna be an awesome shirt. So you guys should really pick this shirt up now. What's up, guys? It's Raymond, back on Sam's channel again for the 90th time. But you guys love me so much, I just have to keep coming back. Everybody keeps looking forward to this deck. I don't know why. Just kidding, I do know why. But I went ahead and I tweaked the deck. The ban list hurt. We're a combo deck. It hurt call by, unfortunately. But I just threw in a couple extra things that I think might help the deck. So
you're the reason we have call by to 1.
I am. No. Well,
they knew we could not let Tamer Editor resolve.
It's such a powerful card. But let's go ahead and get into this deck profile. I know you guys have been asking on Imco40's channel, Sam's channel, Dreadmaster yugioh, and the deck profile will also be going up on Luke's TCG, I think is his name of his channel.
Luke's official TCG.
Luke's official TCG. So I'm well known now, but it's all thanks to Sam. The deck's grown because of you guys, Sam, everybody. I love you guys. I appreciate the love for the deck. I love the deck, and I'm glad I can bring it to you. So let's go ahead and get into the deck for this format. So starting off, basic, you have to play 3 Rabbit. Still a 1-card combo for all your plays. You'll hate me towards the end of this video just because of what this 1 card can do, and you'll see at the end of the video. Then the best card in the deck that needs a rarity upgrade. That's never gonna happen, but Konami, if you see this, please, OTS Super, just for me, maybe, and my fans, you know, just maybe. It's not gonna happen though. Some of your 1-ofs, your Darius, your Aquise, and your Torix. Your Torix is your Elemental Hero Prisma. She'll copy the name and level after dumping 1 to grave. He'll add a Gladiator Beast card from graveyard back to hand, and he's your Monster Reborn. My 1 Noxious, which is a hand trap. He, when your opponent declares an attack on you direct, he can summon himself, redeclare the attack to him, and then he can obviously tag out, or he's also a Foolish Burial when he's summoned by his own effect or another Glad Beast effect, and he can dump 1. But the main reason you use him is he's another level 5 target for helping you get into Tamer Editor. Then your other one, who also happens to be a hand trap, but he's another target for rejection and Tamer Editor. When a Gladiator Beast monster is attacked or does attack, he can summon himself from hand at the start of damage step and buff everybody on your field by 500. So he's really nice. Very helpful to go into. Your favorite high level, but also like the only brick you play, is Augustus. And the only time he's ever a brick is if you get both of them in your hand, which doesn't happen very often. Most of the time if you get 1 in your hand too, you can easily get him out with comeback. So it doesn't hurt at all. But he specials 1 from hand, which just allows you to keep going and get into your Tamer Editor. These guys are my pretties, so I saved them for last. My 2 Champion Pack Super Bestiaries. Depending on where you go, these are about 60 each. So I've pretty much got the deck max rarity now. If you want to critique me on certain things, you can. But I play 2 Bestiaries. 2 is better than 1. 1's not enough sometimes. 2 gives you that extra pop. Also, make sure that you get into Geysers, but you can also always side out 1 if you need to. Then last are my pretty Test Tigers. Finally got my ulti Test Tigers. No, they're not the first eds. I'm sorry. First eds are like $90 each, and I have a kid on the way. So I'm glad dad for a reason. But they are max rarity if you want to go with the ulti. They're still about 60 to 65 each for the unlimbs, so. But I play 3. It's one of the best extenders in your deck. You can either use this effect to get you to something else, or you can just summon it to start linking and get into your other plays, or I used it to bait Ash. A lot of the times your opponent will Ash it, and it's fantastic because then you just use talents and take something or draw 2 to get the cards you were looking for. So onto the spells. Best spell in the deck that should have been a super in the Megaton is Glad Beast Comeback. It's your Monster Reborn, but it also summons 1 from the hand. It does not target. And then the monster that's brought out by it cannot be destroyed by battle.
Wasn't there a Gladiator Beast spell in the 10s?
But all of them were. Comeback and Rejection were both in the 10s. But the Rejection got reprinted as a Super because it was originally an Ultra, and this one got reprinted as a Common again. This should have been a Super. I don't know why it wasn't a Super, but it should have been a Super.
I guess someone got confused.
Someone didn't. Then, as you heard me mention, Gladiator Beast Rejection. I love this card because when you have it, it keeps your opponent from imperming your Glad Beasts, like, during any phase but the battle phase. With this card, your opponent cannot target your Gladiator Beast cards with card effects, except during battle. But by the time it's battle phase, you've already got what you need on the field, or you're going to get into what you need in main phase 2. So it's fine. Whenever one is specialed from the deck, you can special an additional one from the deck. But it doesn't get its effect because it's not being special by the effect of the Gladiator Beast. So most of the time you summon Vespius off of it or Noxus just so you can get another target to make the Tame Predator a lot easier. Because with that and Rabbit or that and Unexpected Die, it's just straight full combo. 3 Rotas, or Gladiator Beast Proving Ground. Just search for one level 4 or lower Gladiator Beast monster. Most of the time you search the Ondal off of it. Ondal is like your best card in the deck. That's why I don't see him as a brick. I love Ondal. Ondal is one of my favorites. 3 Unexpected Die, like you heard me mention before. It's a 1-card combo with the Rejection, so it's technically a 2-card combo. But this also baits hand traps really easily. So many people ash this or the Rejection, then you just normal the Rabbit and go off. Then some of the one-ofs in the spells that I play, obviously, is War Legacy Succession, because you want more Monster Reborns. Monster Reborn, because it's Monster Reborn, and it just helps you keep going. Then thanks to Sam for helping me think of this one, is Upstart Goblin, just to kind of help you play a 39-card deck. Help you dig a little deeper. I didn't like giving your opponent 1,000 life points, but when they hit Call by to 1, right now there's not too many things that you want to see in your hand. Like, you don't want to play any really big hand traps or anything, because I don't like seeing them trying to go first. Going second, that's okay, and that's why my side deck is the way it is. But going first, I don't like seeing an Ash in my hand. It's dead. It's a brick. Seeing this at least gives me another card in my hand that could maybe be a combo piece I'm looking for, the piece I need. So, and then last but not least, we'll still play the 1 Call by. Most of it, I don't think at 1 it's efficient enough to play it, but I just really don't know what other one-of card, to really play. Like, if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know, but I still think at 1 of it's nice. That way, if you attempt to go off and you have it, you have it. But if you don't, you don't. Either way. And that's my 1-ofs. The last spell that I play 3 of is Talents. This is the expensive main deck card. You don't have to play it. Like, this thing spiked recently, and I think it's because Call By got hit to 1, so a lot of people are starting to play this now.
Yeah.
This I saw spiked up to about $100 each. I'm glad I picked them up when they were about 60. But I don't know where they're setting at in price now. But it's a solid card. I did want to drop it to 2, and I was going to drop it to 2, but then when they hit Call By at 1, I was like, I'll just keep the 3rd copy in there. At least till I find something else I'd like to play in the deck. Which I'm still testing it always. I'm always testing it. You guys, I'm always in Sam's comments checking it out. I'm always looking at the comments. So if you ever have any questions, get a hold of Sam or post in the videos. I can comment back and let you guys know what my ideas and what I play and how I think it'll go. We can always interact. I love interacting with you guys. Then last but not least, don't hate me for it, guys, but if you noticed, we took out the Buster Lock and the Infinite Gate Loop because we're moving forward with this format, and them hitting Call By really hurt. Getting into the Buster Lock was pretty easy. The Smorg Link was really nice, but I felt at times it was kind of left me on field with some stuff that was really hard in the grind game because you couldn't use it as link material to turn it summoned. It was still nice to have though, but I switched it out with something else I was testing, and it's the Dragoon engine. Because we don't really play very many bricks, so these are your bricks. This is also good to have. I mean, if they stop your Rabbit, you can just make Dragoon, and then you have at least something. Because, like I said, with Call By going to 1, you still are very susceptible to hand traps. The deck does function and then not function when you're hand trapped too much. But Rabbit is a 1-card Dragoon. Plus, if your opponent doesn't have any hand traps, which does happen, believe me, The rabbit goes into the Ondals. You do your normal play with the Tamer Editor, get out your Damatianus, your Herculinos, and everything, and then you just link the Tamer Editor and the Panther away into Predaplant, and you just make Dragoon. And so you just end on an extra Omni Negate on the board. It makes it a lot harder for your opponent to out your board. Or they have to force focus on the Dragoon. You don't have to play the Dragoon. I didn't want to play it, but I just felt like the Infinite Negate loop and the Buster Lock were just starting to get too slow with how fast the format's starting to change and get into, you know, after the ban list, I just wanted to test it and see how well it's going to run for this format. But if you guys don't like this one, then you can easily take these 3 cards and the Dragoon and the Predaplant out of the extra deck, and you can easily put the Samorg Link and the Union Carrier back in the extra deck, and then you can put Avion, the Chicken Nugget Thunderbird, and the Buster Lock back in the deck. So you can always play whichever variant you'd like to play. And then that's about it. The deck pretty much runs exactly the same. I'm going to test the Dragoon engine and see how well I like it. I've tested it so far, it's pretty decent. If it moves into where it's becoming too bricky, then I probably will end up going back to the Samorg Link and the Buster Lock, because there's a lot more interesting interactions and combos you can do with those. But we'll go ahead and get into the extra deck. Extra deck's still pretty much the same. It didn't change too much. I dropped a couple things and added a couple things. First, you play your 2 Test Panthers. It searches the Gladiator Beast comeback or any other Gladiator Beast card, but most of the time you search the comeback or the Augustus, either way. And then he also has the same effect as Test Tiger. He can shuffle 1 back for a new one. The 1 Link Spider, because you play 3 normal monsters and he just lets you keep going after Nibiru. Best card in the deck, Tamer Editor, or the Walking Double Evolution Pill. He just lets you ignore summoning conditions and bring out your boss monsters and everything. So, speaking of boss monsters, the best boss monster is Gladiator Beast Damatianus. 3500 beater. I think he rivals Conductor for definitely being one of the biggest boss monsters and best boss monsters out there. He controls the battle phase. It's not an activated effect, it's a continuous effect. You get to declare your opponent's attack targets, which is fantastic. Helps you protect your board, keep everything, tight niche the way you want it. He's also a monster effect negate. He negates the activation, destroys. So it's really nice to have Damatianus. Then the 1 Herculinos, and then the 1 Geyserus, which Geyserus is still my all-time favorite, just because of old school GBs. Although I do love my Herc too, so I wish he was a higher, better rarity. Something more pretty. The Link 2 I play is IP, and as you guys know already, the Anaconda. Like I said, if you don't like it, you can easily swap it back out with the Union Carrier and go back to the other plays, which, after this weekend, I'm going to see how well it runs, and we'll possibly switch back. Your Link 3s, the Draco Master, the Tenyi. I brought him back because I got tired of getting stuck on the Samorg Link sometimes and not being able to extend further in the same turn. And then I decided to start playing Unicorn again because the Link zones don't matter anymore, and it's just a great IP target. Just another IP target when your hand is not as good as you want it to be. Just allows you to spin something back. Link 4, the only Link 4 you play anymore actually is just Appaloosa, and that's just for going first, the free negates. Because you can still end on the 7 negate board with the Appaloosa, the Herculinos, and the Damatianus. Then, the only XCG you play still is Dingrisu. And the reason I play this is because you can still end on a board with the Dingrisu to help it make it harder for your opponents to Lightning Storm your board. Or just get rid of it. About the only card you really fear is the Evenly Matched. And, he also outs Dragoon, because he does non-target sends. So if your opponent makes a Dragoon, it's just another way to help you out Dragoon. And then the last monster, of course, is Dragoon. Because he's just such a powerful card, and I think this deck could take advantage of it pretty easily without, really killing it. You still play the pure GB, and about the only thing you really play that isn't GB is the Dragoon engine.
Get with the times, guys.
Well, no, I love my retro Glads too, and You know, me and some friends are trying to make this little anime format where you play cards that are only, you know, only decks that have been in the anime and shown in the anime, but you know, you can only play things from within that archetype. So you can't play staples, can't play like Monster Reborn, Mirror Force, stuff like that. You can only play in archetype decks. And so I'm playing Glads in that, and we're making our own list and everything and all that. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I know. I can't wait to build my Blue Eyes deck. Oh my god.
Get out of here, Kaiba. Then on to the side deck. The side deck really has not changed much. I still like the 3 Cosmics for Eldritch because it's still present even after the ban list. You know, the Eldritch is not dead just because the Synchro Engine's gone. They just switched back to either the Numeron or more of a control-y version of the deck.
Dogmatica invoked.
Yeah, that too. Or Eldritch invoked. That's another busted deck. Droplets. Sorry for my side deck being in different color sleeves. It was currently spread about in other decks I was testing. Droplets, still a fantastic card.
You mean you don't play Glad Beast all the time?
No. I do most of the time. There are other decks I do enjoy playing sometimes. Like I did go 3-1 at locals last week with Unchained. I wanted to take a break away from Glads, but right before the format switched, I played Unchained. But back to Droplets. I like Droplets over Ruler right now because Droplets, I mean, Ruler, your opponent can't respond to it either, but with Droplets, I can still do damage and kill you. You know, and Droplets also outs Dragoon. You can force them to negate with Dragoon, they have to discard the card, and then you chain. And they can't respond to this. So, I think it's solid. 3 Imperm, because I don't like main decking it anymore. It used to be good, but again, you know, seeing it in your first hand going first is really bad. I like seeing it going second, so most of the time I put this in when I know for a fact you're going to make me go second. It's just a great way to stall or interrupt their opponent's whole turn. My side deck, like I said, is very expensive. 3 Lightning Storms. A lot of people don't like the card. I still like it because it forces a negate, or it just straight up wipes the field and just allows you to keep playing. Then last, this was a card I wanted to play for a while. I took the Droll and Lockbirds out. I like them. They're good against Dogmatica, and if you don't have, you know, some of these big cards like Lightning Storm and Droplets, I feel Droll and Lockbird's a really good card to side right now against Dogmatica. Or you can side in like D-Fisher, Macrocosmo, or D-Fisher, not Shifter, or both. It don't matter. Either way, as long as you can turn off the graveyard, they really can't go as far into their combo as they want to, because they don't have a graveyard to send anything to. So D-Shifter was a good one, but you still got big rogue decks out there, and then you still have things like Dinos, which this card helps destroy Dinos because this interrupts their misc. But it's Ice Dragon's present.
This card outs Dragoon.
It actually does. This card also does out Dragoon. Yes, you are right, because it non-target banishes. And you can just summon back the Dark Magician and banish the Dragoon. So it's a really good card right now, and I really am glad I picked it up when I did for like $2 each, because now I think it's like almost $10
It's
each.
like $10.
It's a very good card, and with Call by going to 1, I think this card is definitely a solid replacement. For sure. It does take another turn to set it up, but I like it. I for sure like Ice Dragon's present.
Just run Machiura.
Yeah, if you want to waste your normal summon, just normal it, link it away into All Mirage. Cool, now I can activate 1 trap. Ice Dragon. But, I mean, that's the deck for now. You know, like I said, I'm still tweaking it. I'm always upgrading it for you guys. I love your guys' support, and I'm glad you guys follow me with this deck. And I do play Glads a lot more than I play everything else, but I do play some other decks too. So if you guys ever have any questions, you guys can feel free to ask. That's it for the deck profile itself initially. Like I said, any questions, you just get a hold of Sam. Let's see, what else do we need to talk about, Sam? Shirts? Shirts? Oh, that's right. We're making a Raymond Tiana shirt. Just because you guys love me and this deck so much, we're making a shirt. I don't know how many of them we're gonna do, or you know how it all goes. Depends on how expensive, you know, adult things are. but we're working on it. There's also gonna, I think, be field centers, correct?
Yes.
We're gonna make some Raymond Tianus field centers. I'll even sign those for you guys if you'd like to, and then we can do some drawings or giveaways or something. Just a promotion on Sam's channel. And with Sam doing his merch, I just thought it'd be a nice idea to get that out there. But we're gonna have, you know, these nice cool shirts. It's gonna have Dom Tianus and my face. So it's gonna be Raymond Tianus because I'm the boss of this deck. I am Glad Dad. It's gonna be just like this. It's gonna be an awesome shirt. So you guys should really pick this shirt up now. Shout outs to you. Definitely shout outs to all my fans on your channel and all your fans on your channel. Because I know Sam's working really hard on his current meta deck right now.
I went undefeated last week.
He did.
Oh my God.
Congrats. It was only because Glads weren't there. But shout outs to all the channels I said earlier in the video. You know, Luke's official TCG, Dreadmaster yugioh, mcole40. Most of you guys already know mcole40. If you don't, you might want to start rewatching YouTube again. And just shout outs to everybody who's been following me on this. You know, my playtest partners, Sam, Bailey Hill, Austin Johnston, everybody at Rivals Gaming. And I still think Rivals Gaming is hands down the best card shop ever. I want to shout outs to Dan personally for that. You know, I've had a great experience over the past years going there. And I can't wait for these events to start up, you know, again. With
Yes.
when COVID ends, I really hope you guys, if you guys see me at, you know, a regional, I go to Indy Regional, Rosemont, Cleveland. I go to a lot of the stuff around here, a lot. So if you guys ever see me, you know, come talk to me, hang out or something. When all this stuff gets back up to rolling, I'll probably be playing Glads in that tournament, most likely. So, but that's about it for today, guys. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.